Hey there, Hawks fans! If you've been following Seattle this offseason, you already know that what's happening is giving fans a scare. And today, we have 3 pieces of news you need to know right now. There's a physical, aggressive running back turning heads as a late-round draft pick. Plus, Devon Achane's name is back in the conversation in Seattle. And trust me, there's a new detail keeping that rumor alive. And on top of that, a versatile defensive back, a guy who came in without a scholarship and became a captain, just received an invitation for a pre-draft visit with the Seahawks, and half the league has its eye on him. Click the like button and stick around until the end, because each of these stories has a twist, starting right now with the name that's trending ahead of the draft. Alright, let's talk about the Seahawks Day 3 situation in the 2026 NFL Draft. Seattle doesn't have a ton of picks to work with. Outside of their selections in the first 3 rounds, they've got just one more bullet in the chamber, pick number 188 in the 6th round. So yeah, they need to make every single pick count. And that last one? It's got to be a sleeper hit. One name that's been getting some real buzz is Toledo running back Chip Trayanum. And once you hear what this guy brings to the table, you'll understand why. In 2025, Trayanum put together the kind of season that makes scouts sit up straight. Over 1,000 rushing yards, 5.6 yards per carry, 21 receptions for 200-plus yards, and 14 touchdowns. That's not a role player. That's a producer. Now here's what makes him different from your average late-round back. The man is built like a linebacker. We're talking 5'10", 224 pounds, and at the Combine, he cranked out 27 bench press reps. 27. Most linebackers would be proud of that number. He was literally a linebacker earlier in his college career before transitioning to running back, and that background shows in the way he plays. Downhill, physical, and absolutely relentless. NFL Network's Lance Zierlein pegged him as a 6th-round pick, calling him a pile mover and a body blow puncher, the kind of back who wears defenses down rather than dancing around them. And Fansided's Jonathan Aig echoed that energy, pointing to his leadership as well. Trayanum was elected team captain in his 1 season at Toledo, after playing at 4 different schools over 6 years. That's a guy who earns respect wherever he goes. Now, does he fit perfectly in Seattle? That's the real question. The Seahawks already have 7 running backs on the roster, and what they actually need isn't just depth. They need a guy who can start or at least push for real carries. Zach Charbonnet is recovering from an ACL tear, and Emmanuel Wilson could open the season as the lead back depending on how that recovery goes. Trayanum plays a similar style to both, so he might end up fighting for an RB3 spot rather than stepping into a featured role. But if Seattle doesn't land a running back in the earlier rounds, grabbing Trayanum at 188 could be a smart, low-risk move with real upside. And hey, the Seahawks also have 2 other intriguing 6th-round options on the radar. Toledo DB Andre Fuller, a versatile 6'1" defensive back who can play both zone and man coverage, and Georgia guard Micah Morris, who could add interior offensive line depth. Whoever Seattle pulls the trigger on at 188, the pressure is real. It's their only Day 3 pick, and they can't afford to miss. But hey, if you thought the draft talk was spicy, hold on. Because the next story just dropped and it hits right at the biggest question mark on this roster. Who's actually going to carry the ball for Seattle when Week 1 kicks off? Let's get into it. The Devon Achane to Seattle rumor is back, and this time it's got some real fuel behind it. Bleacher Report's Gary Davenport dropped a piece on April 10th listing NFL stars who could realistically be traded, and Achane made the cut, with the Seahawks named as a logical destination. Now by itself, that's just one writer's take. But here's the thing. This rumor keeps coming back because the football logic behind it genuinely holds up. Think about where Seattle stands right now. Kenneth Walker III is gone. He left in free agency. Zach Charbonnet is rehabbing an ACL tear with no clear Week 1 timeline. Coach Mike McDonald has said publicly that people are sleeping on the backs already in the building and that the team believes in what it has. But in that same breath, he made it clear Seattle will chase any move that can take the roster to the next level. And that's exactly why Achane keeps showing up in these conversations. Now, Miami's front office tried to pump the brakes. General Manager John Eric Sullivan said at the league meetings that there is 0 effort on his end to move Achane. Called him a building block. Said getting an extension done is a priority. ESPN's Marcel Louis-Jacques backed that up, reporting Sullivan views Achane as a foundational piece for the Dolphins going forward. Sounds like the end of the story, right? Not quite. What shifted the tone this week was Cheney skipping the start of Miami's voluntary offseason program. Now, voluntary is voluntary. Nobody's breaking any rules here. But the timing matters. Cheney is extension eligible, and when a player in that situation starts skipping optional workouts, it sends a message. It keeps trade speculation alive even when the team is publicly saying all the right things. That's the zone this rumor is living in right now. Not confirmed trade talks, but enough tension to make the idea feel very real. And the football fit? Still crystal clear. Cheney just came off the best season of his career. 350 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, a Pro Bowl selection. He's not just a highlight reel speed guy. He's a legitimate weapon in the passing game too, and that kind of dual threat ability would immediately change the ceiling of Seattle's backfield. The Seahawks' own draft preview flagged running back as one of the biggest open questions on the roster, and noted that Charbonnet is unlikely to be ready for Week 1. That's not just a minor depth concern, that's a real problem, and Cheney would solve it in a big way. The counter-argument is fair though. McDonald has been vocal about trusting the backs he has. Seattle can find a cheaper solution in the draft without giving up picks or taking on a new contract. And if Miami locks up Cheney with an extension in the coming weeks, this whole conversation disappears overnight. And we're not done yet, because while the front office is still trying to figure out the backfield situation, a different piece of the puzzle just popped up this week. And this one could solve 2 problems with a single roster spot. Okay, let's talk about Trayden Stukes, because this is the kind of player story that doesn't come around very often. The Seattle Seahawks are set to host the Arizona defensive back for a pre-draft visit, per ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. And Stukes isn't just meeting with Seattle. NFL Network's Ian Rappaport reported he's got visits lined up with 7 other teams, including the Kansas City Chiefs. When you're on that many radars right before the draft, something is catching people's eyes. So what's the deal with Stukes? He started as a walk-on at Arizona. Didn't play much as a freshman, just 3 games. By his senior year, he was a team captain. That's the kind of trajectory that turns heads in NFL front offices, and it didn't stop there. He came back from a torn ACL in 2024 and posted 52 tackles, 6 pass breakups, and a career-high 4 interceptions in 2025. Over his full college career, 52 games, he racked up 206 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 29 pass defenses, and 7 picks. NFL.com's Lance Zierlein summed him up perfectly. A big nickelback or split safety, someone who plays fast because he prepares obsessively, and a guy coaches will absolutely love having in the building. The character and the versatility are both there. Now for Seattle specifically, this makes a ton of sense. The Seahawks lost safety Kobe Bryant and cornerback Rick Woolen in free agency. They brought in DeAnthony Bell and Noah Igbenogene, but there's still room for more secondary depth. Ideally, someone who can cover multiple spots. Stukes does exactly that, and with Seattle holding only 4 draft picks, finding a player who can fill 2 roles in one selection is huge. The one real knock on Stukes is his age. He'll turn 25 in September, which is older than most rookies, and he didn't crack Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 big board on NFL Network. But if he sells himself in these pre-draft interviews the way he led at Arizona, don't be surprised if he climbs up boards fast. 3 stories, 3 question marks, and the draft is 2 weeks away. Cheney would be the dream, but the cost might be too steep. Stukes could genuinely fix the secondary in 1 pick, and Trayanum depends entirely on what Seattle does in the early rounds. So here's my question for you. What's the move? Lock down the backfield or rebuild the secondary first? Drop it in the comments and subscribe so you don't miss a single Seahawks update as we head into draft week.